Squeegee and Ink podcast, episode 1 with Jack from Old Eltons. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Really good. Cool.
Nice to finally meet you.
It's so scary setting up these calls. You're like,
Honestly,
shit.
I ran into the studio. I was like, what's the lighting like in here? I ran back in here. Connor's been helping me put all they got fucking diffusers. Or I'm trying to be a Lee Stewart, but it ain't working.
I've got my light box here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like off camera, it probably looks like fucking mental, but yeah, thanks for coming on. It's really cool.
Thanks for having me. It's nuts. Yeah, it's good.
Is Connor coming in as well?
He's had to run my dogs home, and he's got to go and get his dog because his dog's just had his nuts off. So yeah, so he's had to go and tend to his dog, which sucks.
It's kind of like when guys say, "I'll work your nuts off," but dogs, it's like literal. It's like they actually did have their little bits removed. I'll say this is the first episode of the Squeegee and Ink podcast, and we've got Jack from Old Eltons here.
I'm number one, but you've done one already.
No, I've got you're number one. Yeah, I've got Heck Press with Sarah.
Who's the guys you just had on your YouTube channel then? What was that?
Oh, that was, so I was trying to make the podcast through Blind Maggot, which is the clothing brand.
Yeah.
But I think it was too broad. So I'm just basically starting again just through Squeegee and Ink.
Okay, cool.
Because, it was a bit confusing. So, yeah.
Thanks for those t-shirts, by the way. I don't wear anything wear outside of work to the studio. all of my good shit is at home when it's not worn here.
Well, it's good it got into the good shit pile. I have like nothing that I haven't printed myself. I haven't bought myself off Rallywise or hasn't been given to me. All my clothes are shit.
yeah, same.
Have you done that, like where you put in some extra bits in the basket on Rallywise and you're like, or you're pen carrying?
Every order. No, I'm rather.
So I want to talk about, because you've got an auto and you've upgraded from a manual. I think that is, that's serious.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of planning that goes into it. What kind of things did you not anticipate having to do that you didn't think of when you were transitioning?
I'm super new to this, so I upgraded in my third year to auto. So I kind of just threw everything at the wall and hoped for it all to stick. But I basically bought the press and was like, oh shit, we need 3-phase.
You afterwards in that place, because have you got quite an unusual? It's not a warehouse, is it? It's like
no, we're in a Jehovah's Witness hall.
Right.
Yeah, it's
still, or is it an ex Jehovah's Witness?
No, they've long gone. Definitely long gone. They went. Am I good to cuss?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think fuck for that. They've long gone for a very long time, and then it used to be a tattoo studio, and it used to be like a tattoo studio and a bike repair shop used to own two separate sides. The bike dude went, and an artist came in and had that side, and I was down in a industrial estate then for a year. This came up, and I took the whole building, which was awesome. So
it is scary though, knowing that you're going to be able to afford the auto monthly payments or something, however you set it up. But were you getting so many payments that were you getting so many orders that you couldn't keep up on the manual? Or
I'm a gadget guy, and I love manual printing. I really did. I really struggled learning that whole process because I haven't done any. My background is in disability support work and in music. So for me, this whole art side has been very much my forte for the last 15 years. But learning how to do something practically that requires you to hone it in. I was this close to just I'm done. And I said, and I think my mum said to me, she said, I think just go back in and try once more.
Yeah.
And I went, tried once more, and it kind of, and then it worked. And then I was on to something, and then it started rolling. Yeah.
It's savage. The first few times I just don't even know how I got through it without packing it in. I think it's just, was it your only form of, no, were you working and then printing on the side at one point? Or was it like your only form of making money?
I was a digital illustrator for a personalized gifts company.
Okay.
So I was basically drawing Christmas gifts in July.
Yeah.
So gearing up for Christmas in July. And not only had Christmas just finished, Christmas had also just began for this business. So I was lots, and they were doing really well, and it was just kind of mind numbing. I was like, it was hard work. And then mum and dad could see I was drawing more at home, and they owned 2 surf shops in Tenby and Saunders.
Okay.
So the outlet there, they buy something in X amount and sell it, and that's their profit. Whereas if we did our own from X, as you know, with Blind Maggot and everything else that you've been doing, you buy X and then you can sell it. Your profit, your margin is just greatly improved.
Yeah.
So we bought a Chinese press from silk to screen or screen to silk.
Art to silk screen.
That's the one.
Yeah. I've never bought off them. I just know their name for some reason.
Yeah.
Probably because they compete with us. No, do they? They sell screens. So you got to beat them on Google ratings at some point. They'll come up.
Yeah. I think we put $2,500 into I think it was a business startup package that they had.
Yeah. And
it was Chinese press. I mean, I have the whole story on my website now. It's about to go down, so we're going to go live with a new one. So bought this press, and it arrived, and there was no instructions. It was a completely different press to the pictures I'd ordered. Yeah.
You wonder how anyone even actually prints their first shirt with all that so confusing, all the parts, and there's so many elements that you have to get right to get one shirt off.
Well, I set the carousel up and didn't touch it for 3 months because I didn't realize, well, obviously being new to it, I didn't realize that you needed to expose a fucking screen.
Yeah.
I had this giant butcher's sink that I was washing out in. It was a crazy couple of months. But it turns out the exposure unit they sold me, the lights weren't intense enough.
Yeah.
So luckily, Print House up in Cardiff, I took my whole exposure unit up to them, and Tom and everybody up there, they helped me throughout an entire day, workshop my exposure unit, and we came to the conclusion that the bulbs were just shit.
Yeah.
So we replaced the bulbs, and then boom, we exposed our first screen up there as well. So,
but as a new person, you think this is definitely me.
Yeah.
100%. You're always going to blame yourself, and you'll be like, right, what is it that I can't troubleshoot here?
Yeah.
It's I wanted to ask you, how did you go about? Did you hire Connor, or is he a friend who's come on board, or how did you find him?
Connor is a unicorn. So Connor was actually a client of ours, and he was asking me, he had some stuff done, and that was it. And then he's also a graphic designer, and did some work for a company down in London, and they kept asking him for print ready files.
Right.
Done it all in Photoshop, nothing wrong with the images, nothing wrong with the artwork that I could see. And he was like, do you mind if I send it over for you to have a look at and let me know where I'm going wrong? So we started talking about all of this and everything, and we came, quite close on Instagram. We messaged each other all the time, just sharing memes and all that shit, as you do.
Yeah.
And then me and Mum were in here for lockdown, because I had 2 of my best friends working for me prior to COVID, and they had because of COVID, which sucked. But it was me and Mum busting our ass in here for a year.
Jesus.
I was like, we need some help. And
is your mum quite hardcore? My mum wouldn't be very.
My mum's very savvy. Yeah. Well, my mum has run businesses for the last 25 years, so
yeah,
she knows how to check stuff in. She knows how to reconcile. She knows how to do all the back end, which I have not a clue. So Mum does all books and.
Okay.
So I just said to Mum, I said, I think I'm going to give Connor a message and see if he wants to come in.
I thought it was like your mum taking shirts off while you were loading, and none of
She
that.
won't do it. I tried to get my dad doing it as well, but dad's just as useless. I'm the only arty one in my family, which is nuts.
But you said she runs business. They've both run the businesses, so that's like,
yeah,
it's nice to see that as your parents like being self-employed, so you know that that's like a option for you. So you don't have to just go into the employment side of it. I just can't be employed. I'm completely unemployable now.
I was thinking about this the other day because I went out on Saturday for a friend's staff do, and the next day, you know, we'd all had a drink and I was a bit hungover, and one of the guys said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to phone in sick to work now."
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
I know.
Can you imagine?
I know. I can't. But they get so many perks. But I don't think it's worth it. There's nothing that you could make me go into someone else's office, or even just feel like I'm not building something for myself.
Yeah, I think that's something I struggled with because I was out in Australia for a year and a half, and then came home, I was like, what the hell am I going to do now? You know, because my family's my family name in Temi, you know, there's a lot of us and we're quite well known. I really felt like this big when I came home from Australia. Do something. I need to make
just because you didn't have something solid. When people asked you at like parties and stuff, like, what have you been up to? You're like, traveling.
Well, I didn't travel. I just lived in Sydney, and they were like, "Oh, what did you do out there?" And I was like, "Oh, I was a disability support worker. I ran a centre for adults with vulnerable disabilities, vulnerable adults." Oh, that's amazing. That must be so rewarding. And I was like, it just wasn't challenging. I enjoyed it because just do naturally, but it wasn't challenging enough for me. So that's why I had to stop. I need to do something that is going to make me cry every single day.
I know, but you've done so. What came first? Like you printing your own shirts, and then taking like how come you're taking on customer orders and printing your own stuff? Are you just trying to build up your own brand on the side? And
yeah, the only way I could afford to leave my job where I was if I printed for other people. I didn't want to be in my job where I was anymore. I could see an end goal, and I could see an end goal. I could be like, look, I know I'm not going to be here because I'm going to build this studio for my stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I sat down with mum, and she was like, look, the only way you can leave this place is if you print for other people.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
It's incredibly hard. It looks really easy on the surface, but printing shirts is a piece of piss. It's selling shirts which is difficult. And we figured that we've had lots of different retail outlets, like website, real store markets, and selling online is really, it's just like you're shouting into the abyss. You don't know what's landing. It's horrendous.
I do with SEO or marketing. I don't do any marketing here, and you know, we've had a really good year, but I might pump the gas a little bit with marketing and maybe do some bits, but I honestly have no idea. I'm literally just winging it and have been since.
I like your campaign though, tell us why you wear it. Yeah, that's really clever. That's perfect marketing, surely.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. But again, the clothing side only comes about when I'm having a really bad time and I'm actually in a really good place at the minute.
Oh, so right. Your inspiration's gone.
My inspiration's gone. I'm like Adele.
that is quite funny. I know it's not, but it is a little bit funny.
It sucks. All of it I've done when I feel like crap. I'm like, right now I feel really good. I'm in a good place. Work's amazing. Yeah. Christmas, you know, I'm not moping.
Yeah.
It's really strange, but I have started again now. Yeah, which is nice.
So you still got your prints. So you print just digitally on like your Epson or something. I was trying to figure out how you did your prints. I was thinking they were a screen print, but you haven't got a flatbed. So.
I don't have a flatbed. No, I use what have I got here? I've got an Epson XP970. It's like an art printer, just one.
And it doesn't clog up and shit, because I've had one.
So far, so good. But we don't sell too much. See, I don't push it, so we don't sell it. But anything, if I'm doing a run of shirts for like the clothing side, I'll just stick on a couple of A3s and just screen print some on the auto. That usually. But yeah, no room for flatbed in here. I got 2 single head embroideries, a little vinyl cutter, and the auto, and an exposure room. That's about it.
Are there any bits of like kit and stuff that you've bought that you wish you hadn't, or have you accidentally got into
Absolutely, yeah,
bad areas?
Oaky toner white printer.
Yeah, they make it look really good on the showroom though. Like you really need white toner for your. What is it for? Like mugs or something, or?
So we did satin mugs. We also did imagery, pictures, and like it was good for one-offs, because when I first started, I just said yes to everything. Like builder, you want 2 shirts? Sound, I'll do 2 shirts. Now, get fucked. Am I?
I know.
The nicest way possible. Like you posted something yesterday, the reel. Can you just print 1 shirt?
Yeah.
That was perfect.
I
forwarded my mate, because he keeps on at me saying, "Can you print me 1 shirt?" I'm like, "No. Do you know how much work goes into it?" I'm
sure there's other analogies for it. Like you just wouldn't, like, people just treat screen printers really weird. Like, oh yeah, I'll bring my own shirts. It's like, okay, I'll bring my own food to the restaurant and you cook that. Oh, I've got some meat in the fridge.
I've not heard it. Yeah, that's really good one.
Just loads of shit. It's like I'm not touching it. I used to though. I was probably got into that trap, because you kind of feel like I need to make this amount of money for the month because you've got overheads. Yeah. And then this work's coming in, so you're like, well, I'll do that, and then you just block up all your time with crappy little jobs. Yeah. And then every so often you might get a good job and think, okay, that's. But then you have to. I must be saying no to like 95%. That sounds like extreme, but it is. I've got like a very small handful of customers who I work with now. Yeah. I know.
Now you've been going for a while now, right?
Since 2013, but we're very different. We were like an open access print studio. Yeah. Used to teach a lot, and then we're a lot of flatbed stuff, and then we've only been really in t-shirts in the last few years. Yeah. But yeah, we're kind of still educational. We still like a supplier. Just to pre-expose screens and film, not like inks and anything like that. But yeah, you do have to say no, because we get walk-ins all the time. We've even taken our signage down out there, most of it, and they still just wander in.
Because this used to be a tattoo studio, and it's still fucking registered.
And you're tattooed to hell. Oh, so they think you are the tattooist, don't they?
Yeah, but yeah, they come to the front and they're like, "Oh, is this the tattooist?" And I'm like, no.
Yeah, they're like, this is very confusing. On Google it says, I know, because Squeegee and Ink sounds a bit like tattoo studio as well. Yeah, we're both quite covered now. It's just so I tell you, exactly the same thing.
Stay away from the throat. I'm regretting the throat because I've now got to get it coloured.
So because of the pain.
Oh, that Adam's apple. That for me.
I'd have one though, so I could just, clean straight.
Do your throat.
No, I won't do my throat. No. I've got very little real estate left. I said I'd never do my arms, but I have. I actually book in for next time, and I don't know what the hell I want, because I know that I'll want one in a few months.
My best mate's the tattooer.
I really shit.
So that's why all of this has been pretty much free.
Oh right, yeah. Do you print for him sometimes when he wants it?
The guy who's asking for one shirt, yeah.
Oh, you have to give it to him then, because he does one tattoo for you.
Don't matter. No way.
No. Have you got? I'll ask you some of these standard questions. Have you got any let me find a good one. What job would you be doing if you weren't a printer now?
Well,
what would be your ideal job if this isn't your ideal job?
probably graphic design or illustration, freelance illustration, because I do a lot of that anyway, just like an arm of the business. But before that, I probably would still be in disability sport work because of it, and I would probably try and climb my way to the top of that. But being where we are, it was not very, I don't know, it was very Groundhog Day.
As in having your own clinic for that, or
no, I would probably have tried to go up to like managerial position where we were locally, but I mean that was probably 10, 15 years. There were ladies there that had been there for 20 years and just done the same. I was like, I need to go. I'm out. It would probably always drawn, so I definitely think drawing would have.
Do you draw any of your own tattoos and stuff, or do you just?
Yeah, I drew this. Yeah,
you do it.
I draw pretty much all of my own tattoos because I'm a dick. I need it.
that sounds like a really stressful customer, like a proper graphic designer coming in with it.
It is, yeah. I literally, when I go to get tattooed, I will print all of the transfers, but it's only Pricey I get tattooed with. So anybody else, I let them do it. But
yeah, you abuse, and you wonder why he's abusing your services.
Yeah, for sure.
I always just let them do it because I'd always think, oh fuck, I could have done that a little bit better. So I just like push the onus on them and hope that they do a good job. Yeah, I found a few good ones now though. So yeah, you can't really go wrong with like traditional style or I've got some bad ones, but
I have so many bad ones.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can cover it up though, but yeah.
My worst one is probably the day Hugh Hefner died. I was at Private Studio and we were like, oh fuck, Hugh Hefner's died. So I got a glittery Playboy bunny on my leg. Just thought it was a laugh. I got home and my partner Chessie, she was like, are you fucking high?
Yeah, that's awful.
And I said, what do you mean? It's just a bunny. She's like, everything that a bunny represents is disgusting. And I was like, I can't cover it up, I promise. So now I've got this giant like Black Panther on my leg.
Yeah, I've got Black Panther on my leg. Oh no, it's a Jaguar. It's a Jaguar. Yeah. Pretty much the same thing. Yeah, that's the only thing. Once you've got the Jaguar, then you know that you can't cover up a Jaguar unless you have like a whole black leg.
Yeah.
Don't let them fuck that up.
Well, that's my only regretful tattoo. Yeah.
How did Old Eltons become Old Eltons? Like, how did you figure out that name and stuff?
So my middle name is Elton.
You're not named after anyone, just
so my mum and dad lived out in Trinidad when they were younger, and there were lots of guys out there called Elton.
Oh right.
And my dad really liked the name.
I just did Old Eltons. I just did a job for he's kind of like a soul singer. I want to say Rastafarian, but I don't think he is, but he's called Elton.
Yeah, so it's very common.
It's very famous from like Jamaica. I've got to figure out what his name is. But yeah, we were playing his music, but he died quite a little while ago, but his family are over here. Yeah, I suppose it is quite a generic name. I really want to figure out what his name is now, but it's just completely gone blank on it.
Google it. Yeah, so
Google it.
Elton's my middle name, and when I was out in Australia, there was a local company called Young Henry's. I don't know if you know the artist Cindy Sin.
I don't, sorry.
Incredible artist, and he did a lot of work for Young Henry's, and they had a live screen printing event on there one evening.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I'd never seen it done in a long time because my first job was in a screen printing shop when I was 14. But I was in Australia having beers in this absolute sick venue in Newtown, and these guys, they like put on a show, and it was like vote for your favorite piece of art on the wall. It's free beers, free food.
God, that's good pie.
I think it was free food for an hour or something just to get the punters in. and the person with the most votes on that artwork got that t-shirt printed live at night. So I'm assuming they had all the screens for all the art, and the one who had print. And I actually tagged Shannon from Aisle 6 Studio, you know, Aisle 6 in Australia.
Yes, I've actually do follow them.
Yeah, so it was those guys doing the live event.
Oh, right, cool.
And I didn't know anything about it before, and yeah, I just saw that, and I was like, Young Henry's, that is such a sick name. I came home and I was like, how can I think of a business name? I was like, my middle name's Elton. I was ridiculed in school for it. Let's try and flip head. And I was like, oh, fuck it, let's just go Old Eltons.
Yeah, and it sounds super established, obviously.
Now it's kind of stuck, and yeah, it's fun. Yeah,
it's a cool one.
Yeah, I like what we've created here. It's been a tough old road, but it's been fun.
What kind of like plans have you got for this year, or like what do you want to keep in that? So basically, we've made loads of changes because of COVID.
Yeah.
And we've actually come out of it a lot better.
Yeah, it's mad.
So it's kind of like we needed that break to be able to like reassess stuff.
There's a silver lining of it for us. Like before COVID, like it was really difficult. You know, we weren't bringing enough orders in, and I was like wanting to grow the business really fast, and so I hired 2 of my friends, and they were coming and working, and then there was like wasn't enough work on, and it was really difficult. So it was really hard to like stay afloat. COVID hit, and Geth had to get another job because he was on furlough. He was like, oh, I'm going to get another. What was it? I think he just stayed on. And
you put him. You had to put him on furlough.
We furloughed them, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was just us here. I was like, do you just want to come in anyway? And they both said no because of safety. And I was like, fair enough, that's absolutely fine. It came between us as friends as well, but luckily we're all really good friends still now. Cool. But Geth then had to get another job because they offered him loads of hours, and I was like, can't compete with that. And then Britt, who she's a full-time Twitch streamer now, because
really cool.
So during COVID, I furloughed her, and she needed to do something, and then she started streaming, and now that's her full-time job now. I've literally seen her now, and yeah, she's just finished her stream now. She's doing really well. So that was a silver. They both, you know, it was kind of meant to be in the nicest way possible. COVID was a lifesaver for me, and it's such a bizarre way of thinking about it.
Do you think you bit off more than you could chew with 2 employees at once, or 100%. Is that what it is? Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
But it's tricky having one, because then it's like a weird dynamic having one employee, especially with like me and Em.
Yeah.
Because like we're like, okay, so who's your boss? And they haven't got any like peers to talk to about the job.
Yeah.
So it's quite isolating if you haven't like got a little bit of a team, like other people on who are also employees. It's tricky.
I don't mind working on my own. I would be here every second of every day if Kelsey let me, but
I know, like she's the only one that you have to go home at one point.
Yeah, well, you know, my work-life balance is absolutely shocking, and I'm trying to think about it, but time is irrelevant here. I could get here at 8 and it could be 11 o'clock at night and I wouldn't know. Like our windows, we've got windows that are that wide and that big. We've got 4 on this wall, 4 down that wall. That one's open, filled with cardboard. That one's blocked with cardboard. You know, there's no light in here.
Why is it blocked with cardboard?
This faces the sun, and I can't see shit when I'm working. So I've got open here.
Yeah.
And that one, there's just shit in the way with it, and then all that is just stock in the way of that stuff. So
and the people still come like that. You wonder why you don't have loads of walk-ins, because it looks like it looks like a slum from the outside of the cardboard.
I kind of find window in that wall at some point, but I don't know.
So how I saw today that you posted about the gin company, like you're doing like photography and you're bringing that in. Are you bring that in as a service for people, or is it just like something fun? Or
no, so we've always just done photography. Like when shit's on the press, we'll send them a photo, and I always post stuff anyway. But having Connor on board now, because Connor's background is photography and graphic design, So with his skills in photography, I mean, I can do photographs as well, but my skill is illustration.
Yeah.
So I'm stronger. So between the two of us, you know, he can draw too. So, you know, we've kind of got it made here. We're essentially a one-stop shop for everything. And it's really actually exciting to start thinking about it now.
Yeah. I've done a few, I sold it as like packages, really, like, what was I call them? Media packages, where like I'd shoot like a whole promo video from like just exposing the screens right the way through to printing and like on the press and then afterwards. And then people can use, like small brands, for example, can use that as like literally a whole background video on their website.
Yeah.
And they've got it as a YouTube video and they've got all the stills. And I think there's a big demand for that.
Yeah.
And
especially now with everybody's just consuming video.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like something that they can't get from the huge places, like the huge DTG factory places that are churning.
Yeah.
They're not going to get, no one wants to see a DTG printer happen anyway. So, we have nothing to worry about there, but we can add value like with the craft and showing like this is a really cool item. It's bespoke.
I feel like I lost an element of craft when I went to auto. I will have to admit that.
Yeah. Have you got any manual at all? You haven't got like any single arm?
Got a single head just sat under the auto that's just collecting dust.
Yeah.
We on the auto.
You could do like high build on it or something, or like do some cool things.
I've got no room for it, honestly. It's honestly, we've really done as best as we can here, management space wise. It's forever changing. My granddad came in to see me today and he went to walk out one door and I was like, that's locked now, you can't go out that way. And he was like, always changing in here.
Like real Welsh accent. You're in Wales, aren't you? Like by the coast or something?
Literally as far west as you can go, southwest.
Oh, cool. So have you got like, is it a silly question? Say, have you got surfing and stuff there, or is it not that type of coast?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got 11 beaches within 45 minutes of us. So we used to have three surf shops. One of the surf shops was a kayak and kite surf shop. So I used to kite surf as well.
Oh, cool.
My dad's a qualified kite instructor and his friend was as well. Nice. So we kayaks and kite shop. And then
your parents sound awesome.
They're fucking cool. But the reason I'm here, they gave me a olive branch and whatever the saying is, and I took it, and they've just been help since day one. I couldn't have done it without them, really. It's nuts.
So are you an only child?
I have two sisters, one in Australia, one in Canada.
Yeah. So you've just like dispersed all over the bloody world. That's crazy.
For fuck's sake. God. So now Mum's obviously trying to take a back seat with everything. So she obviously wants to go see Faye in Canada for however many months of the year. And then Harriet in Australia for however many years. And then me, I'm still here. But it sucks because I've got a work relationship with my mum, you know. When she goes to see the other two, it's kind of a family. So I don't know.
It's good that you've got her for the kind of like business side of it. Like, how have you developed as like a business person? Because you've obviously like done the craft and that's all sorted with the screen print. Yeah. And you could probably take on any job that you want. But like, are there still like business aspects that you just ignore, or have you like got better at any of those?
I'm trying to get more in tune with like knowing like what's going on in the back, like stock control and money, because I just take orders, I do everything here, and then anything I collect all the money and then just say, here you go, Mum, balance it, make sure it's all good, and then she'll be like, no, you're missing this, you need to go and get this. So I was never a kid, like math freaked me out, still does to this day. I hate it. So I am very much hands-on. Anything numbers wise, I've gotten so much better now with markups and percentages and because you have to, you know, like.
But how did you figure out your like initial pricing? Did you just look at what other guys were doing and go, well, that's probably where I should be? Or did you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I took a lot of like the big competitors, like you know, the big guys out there, and I just got their price, and was like, all right, well, it's just me. Let's add a little bit on it.
Yeah. Oh, good. I thought you were just going to say I'll average it out, because it sounds like they can just churn and they don't give a shit.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. I built this like entire, like, I called it like a price figure outer. So like, I went into like somebody's, I go get a quote for somebody, and I'd find the garment price on my end of what I'd buy it for, and then I just do loads of like maths in Excel, in Google Sheets, and then I'd figure it out, and then it would populate into a pricing matrix for me.
That's right.
Yeah, and I managed to figure all that out because it was interesting to me. You know, it was allowing me to make money as opposed to just doing algebra and maths.
So it does sound like you've got like a system for it. You're not just winging it, or.
Oh, I am 100% winging it, but we use Printavo now.
Oh, right,
all
okay.
the that we've put in the back end of that as stuff that I've figured out or hacked out over time. But that's an process. And when I feel like I've updated all my prices, rather release a new price list every 6 months.
Yeah.
I've just done it all.
I know, like January looks very bleak. Plus you can't even get the bloody stock in, but then it's pretty savage, because like you're trying to think, should I increase my print price and the garment? Because then if people come back and they basically, if people come back annually, they're like, oh, I'll have the same price as last year. And you're like, no,
you won't.
Cotton's gone up like 25, you know, interest's gone up. It's just.
Well, anybody that comes to me after there's been a price increase, I literally just say, look, we've had a price increase since then. This is your new price. And they're absolutely fine with it. Luckily, I've had to go, do you know what? I'll pass. I'll go somewhere else.
I rarely get that though. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a good relationship with a lot of my customers. I don't really tend to work with anybody. I don't know. I've got quite a large customer base, and I know them all. I've built a relationship with, as you do. Makes me stay as well. You know, it's nice to be honest and open, and yeah, I'm a big people. Are
most of your customer base coming from your local area, or how do you get them, or how do they find out about you?
Locally is pretty big. We do a lot of the restaurants and stuff in Tenby. Saundersfoot I'm yet to tackle, but that's like 3 miles down the road. But yeah. Anybody in Saundersfoot, but it's more the case of like coastal. So we do like Littlehaven, they're like a lobster, the Tiramore gin, like that type of people. I don't really know. I know I'd like to get to know all of my customers. I've got a little Pearl, and she's in her 80s, and she does like 100 tote bags with the Welsh alphabet every now and then, and she's absolutely she comes down for a chin wag. I think she'll be down next week actually.
That's really cute.
Yeah, we got loads of different people all from different walks of life, and it's just
you
really
don't have to. Do you get like inquiries from like your Instagram and stuff, like print me this for my brand, or
yeah, we do, and I just say just email me. Like, I'm not dealing with it through Instagram, because through WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, I'm just like, I can't keep up. I just can't. I just say, just email us. Email Connor and he'll sort you out.
I know, it's one of the things like TikTok. The quality of some of the inquiries is very erratic. So you basically don't want them through TikTok. You want them to like come onto your Instagram and learn about you, and then it goes to the website.
Well, we live in the age of instant gratification. So they've seen you on TikTok and they go, oh, they print t-shirts. Can you print me one shirt? No.
I know.
Learn my business, learn who I am. If you want it that bad, research that. You can't have one t-shirt printed, you dickhead. No way. just,
Why don't you just make your own little meme? Like your own little gif?
Yeah.
No, you
I've
didn't.
yeah, I've seen all of those memes, and I'm like, I must be able to create one somehow. But
I liked one of your videos the other day where you're kind of like bullying Connor on the press. You like made him hand pull it. So why did you make him hand pull it? It's like showing him up really bad.
It was
like
a zip
angles,
hoodie.
like...
Yeah, it was a zip hoodie, and we don't have a split platen or a split hoodie. So it was only 25 hoods, and I just hand pulled them all.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oi, come here! As soon as you've only learned on a fucking auto and you don't know how to pull a squeegee, do it."
Don't want to mess up a hoodie though. That's like 20 quid or something sometimes.
His was just on a blank. I wasn't going to give him a proper, but the print was just like mushed underneath, and I was like, yeah, it makes me feel kind of good. Although I didn't give him. Well, I didn't have anybody standing there saying you need to pull it at this angle, at this pressure, at this speed. You know.
Yeah, he should learn.
And he was like, well, you didn't give me any guidance. And I was like, do you think I had any?
Yeah, we didn't have anyone. We had cat spit. And who did you learn off? Like when you were watching, when you were figuring it out?
It was cat spit. Yeah, it was.
I think he was the only, like, he seemed like the only independent at the time.
Yeah, I still have a playlist that I had on my YouTube. So it was Anthem. I learned a lot of set from Ryanette.
Anthem. I didn't really learn off Ryanette, but I enjoyed watching his feature videos because I felt like I haven't got those products, so I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So yeah, but I did watch Catspit a lot. So he's the reason why I've got a little skull on my press.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Like, to Jonathan.
It's really nice, yeah, seeing like Lee come through with all of the stuff that he's doing now, because the people who are starting to learn,
it's a whole new wave.
They don't know about Jonathan either.
I know.
He's
still on there. He's still on there. Yeah, I know. He's the OG.
And it's amazing that he hasn't let it get to him. Like if that was me and I saw somebody like Lee, production value coming through, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Hang my hat up, you know. But fair play to him, yeah. But it was
I think the style's completely different though. Like Jonathan isn't doing like vlogs, and no one would watch him do an unpacking video. But yeah, there's lots of different takes on it, I suppose. I think like the print life is very good. I was about to say,
it was Catspit and Print Life Cam. I actually sent him out a bunch of stickers, and he did he stuck one of my stickers on his mannequin behind him. Yeah,
I know.
Just something as small as that made me feel really like, I don't know, I guess.
Exactly, that's why I love Catspit, because he answered one of my questions. And I'm like, oh, wow, he actually answered it. And it's like, yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, I always try and answer as many questions as possible that come through.
I tried the YouTube game, and I did 2 videos, and then that was it. It's
just too tiring. Well, what was the purpose for you? Were you doing tutorials or vlogs?
It was a vlog. It was just a day in the life type of thing. We called it Stitches and Ink, and
sounds like a cartoon character.
Yeah. Was on it. We did 3.
People always ask us like, who's Squeegee and who's Ink, and you're like, oh, fuck off. That's really embarrassing.
Like Pinky in the Brain.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we did 3 videos. One was a day in the life. Another was a printwear and promotion chat with Dave Roper. And then the other one was just a meeting, like a business meeting type thing.
Yeah, but you can always redo it, because you've got your podcast, you've got a decent amount of episodes there.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good, and then I just got too busy. And definitely, I got my mic, picked my mic up today off. I would be using it, but I got my iPad. But to finish editing, I interviewed my mum, which is going to be this one. And then that's going to be a real good one because she's got so much business experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the podcast. They did all the editing, all the design and everything for that as well.
I come up with the ideas and then I say, here you go, Em, and she has to edit it all. I think she genuinely enjoys it. She hates filming me. But then tough tits, you got to do it. we've got to keep producing good content, and that's it.
We're always on it, always posting, which is good. It's great.
We're just in a sweet spot where we can make time for doing it, and we're not like up against it as much with the like day-to-day printing because we've just like pushed it away. But there's definitely a sweet spot. You have to earn the money and keep the cash going in, but then you also like trying to make content for the future. So
that's why I struggle to feel like the video. I felt like I was setting up too many shots and it was taking too much time for me. Like I love filming. Like I've got 2 A7 II bodies. You know, we've got a lot of camera gear here. Connor's got his own A7 III, and you know, we've got videography and photography here. But I'm just, my skills are better sat here getting the orders in. And
do you do your own like artwork separations and stuff as well?
I do, yeah. I've just got the TM200.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
New printer, new film set printer.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I've been going on like a normal household printer for the last 4 years.
Wow. It's good. It's good.
It's not even like converted to black ink either. It's just straight CMYK printer. That's it.
God. So your exposure time has to be like bang on, or you're buggered. Is it not? With the light, you have to get through it, or
no, it's black. It's real black. So I've put my old films against this new film system, and I'm in it.
Really?
And that did me well. It was like 250 quid, and that lasted me for 4 years. It's still going now. We've still got it now if we want to run like a little left chest. I'm not going to put that on a 24-inch roll.
Yeah, but you want to have it as a backup because when a printer dies, there's I think I can actually get anyone's printer back up and running if I was given half a day. But sometimes it's just, you just haven't got that time in your production. You just need to, I've had to get a new printer like next day before. And these are really massive printers.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry?
What printers are you printing on?
I've got a huge Epson SureColor. It's like a 44-inch one because we output film for like huge printers who like do massive rolls of like fabric by hand and stuff. So they need the whole huge screens, and they just can't find anyone to output their film. So
I have a friend actually who's looking for somebody who does positive. Does full fabric bed printing.
Yeah.
Are you sure who she uses? Yeah, so I'm learning how to do all my seps now myself. Very interesting and very fun.
I've never really got on with any of the like auto separation software either, because it doesn't, I'm like, well, I need to put some white in under there, or I want these two colors to mix, or the halftone's not gonna. So yeah, I do like that control there. Yeah. That's probably where that's probably one of my skills. But I haven't got what you've got. You've kind of got like the graphic design, like you can actually design.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a studio technician.
You went to uni, right? You were taught at uni?
Yeah, kind of. I did like product design and graphic arts. It's too broad and generalist. Yeah. So I
think two different people when it comes to the art side of things. I think if you're taught in any sort of graphic design, whereas if you're completely self-taught and have no background in it, I think there's definitely two different approaches to this industry. And I envy people who have your skill to be able to, from my side, like it's difficult. Yeah. Like sometimes I wish I wasn't so, I don't know, I feel like fuck I'm doing most of the time because I don't have,
But I think that's the perception. I think everyone thinks that you get taught all this stuff, but you don't. You just kind of get left in a room and you've got to just self-teach anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't teach someone how to draw well, or you can't teach like a good eye or style and that type of thing. Because I think you've kind of landed on it. Like you've got like written signs in there, like hand, you've got that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
And you've kind of like translated it across your whole brand. So
I try to, yeah.
That's where your strong point is.
Thanks. Yeah.
And you've got a coffee machine, which I'm envious to fuck about.
Yeah. Still don't know how the fuck to make a coffee though.
Mine's like black sludge shit. And then like I went on Instagram and you guys are like with your like perfect little espresso machine. I'm like, I need one of these. That's what I'm going to get myself for Christmas.
Still figuring out how to do it, and you should see there's no perfect swan on the top of my coffees, I'll tell you that much.
You could have your own little logo one, like cappuccino
over the top.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Okay. Yeah, I think we could probably just wrap it up now.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you so much for coming on as the first thing. I've already designed the thumbnail of you two swearing at each other.
Oh, really? Right.
Yeah, got that ready. I'll send that over to you as well, so you can put it on stories or whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure. When's it coming out? Do we know?
I'm not sure whether to hold off until the new year or just put it over Christmas. I'm not sure what people. Not sure. Yeah. I think I want to record it before my next one. It'll be like a week or two. Whenever I can bully Em into editing it and stuff.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
Yeah, I really want like a shirt show intro song.
Yeah,
but
we had a friend our intro song for our podcast. That was like super hip hoppy, but shirt shows is fucking rad.
It's really good.
They've kept me sane for a number of hours. So if they listen to this, you guys support.
You have to get on there. Yeah, you haven't had your cameo yet, have you?
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to pass the bill and be like, "Oh, you prick! Do you want your first Welsh guest on there? Come on up."
Yeah, just tell him. Just say I want to be on, or just send him some stuff.
I have thought about like sending him just like a fucking him and Andy just like a shit ton of like Welsh goods.
Yeah, like right. What is a Welsh good? Like, I feel like there's some cakes, Welsh cakes.
Yeah, that's
what other Welsh things is it? Sorry, I was just
toffee waffle.
Toffee waffle.
Oh, they're good. I'll send you up some toffee waffles and Welsh cakes.
I've never heard of a toffee waffle.
Better, right?
No.
What?
A toffee waffle?
No, Welsh cake.
Not really. I tell you where I'd go for one.
Tesco's. Tesco's will say Welsh cake. They won't be as good. Yeah,
I think you'll probably be shocked if you came in England and there aren't like loads of Welsh cakes as you first go in.
I'd be fucking.
That's really funny. Yeah, cool. Well, I'm glad you like the tops and they're not your roughs around the studio.
No, they won't be roughs. They'll be my goods. Thank you for that.
I hope that dog's okay with his balls lobbed off.
Well, we've got them pickled in a jar on the side.
That's disgusting. Thank you so much, Jack. Okay, I'll see you on Instagram and I'll message you the video and stuff.
Yeah, lovely job. Thanks, Chess.
Cool. Cheers. Bye.